Coming up on this episode of Aftershock,
Zach tells us what happened at this year's open house.
and Josie catches us up on all things Lightning Athletics.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Alec Marsh.
And I'm Alex Twid, and Aftershock starts now.
On Tuesday, parents were welcomed to the Bay for open house.
Not only did they get to meet the teachers, but they also found out information about some of the clubs offered here.
Here's Zach with the story.
On Tuesday, September 26, Cypress Bay had its annual open house where parents flooded the halls of the Bay.
As I'm now walking into the school, I came to find out exactly what it is. I'm interested in my son's school and interested in everything that it does.
Parents had the opportunity to meet their children's teachers, tour the school, and visit the dozens of clubs that are offered.
When my son is telling me about school, about his lessons, about his teachers, I can relate to that and I can identify with whatever he's telling me.
Open house creates a link between the parents and the teachers, and Ms. Eskenazi thinks open house is a great way for parents to understand what goes on during school.
It's a very good opportunity because as teachers we can meet the parents and we can set up the rules and we are all on the same page.
Ms. Eskenazi believes that parents are just as important as students when it comes to teaching successfully.
I think it's a very important piece of the puzzle because if they don't come and talk to you, they don't know what to expect from you.
Open house also gave parents the opportunity to explore Cypress Bay and the many extracurriculars that are offered.
I'm walking around seeing what they are doing, all the different clubs and the students' activities. I'm wondering myself if my son would be interested in joining any of them.
And as the sun set on another open house, parents and teachers both left with a new set of bonds created. Zach Alpern, CBTV.
Now that the school year is well underway, many clubs are taking their fundraisers and events into full gear.
And UNICEF has already started to collect supplies for the victims of the recent natural disasters.
My name is Andre. People lost their houses, their stuff. That's pretty sad, but people from the Caribbean join in to help. Because if it happened to me, I would want people to help. So I should do the same.
Whether you've lost power in the middle of the storm or your phone dies during an important time, it's always good to have an emergency phone charger on hand.
Here's a quick and easy DIY phone charger that can save your electronics in times of need.
If you have no power during a hurricane, you can still charge your phone with a 9-volt battery. In this week's DIY segment, I will show you how to make your own portable charger. The supplies you will need are 1 9-volt battery, 1 car charger, 1 paper clip, 1 roll of electrical tape, and 1 charging cable. The first thing you'll need to do is get the car charger ready by taking your paper clip and taping it to the car charger like so. Then plug in your charging cable into the car charger and take the other end and plug it into your phone. After you have plugged everything in, you can take your car charger and connect it with the positive side of the battery, and connect the paper clip with the negative side of the battery. After you've completed all of those steps, you'll have successfully made a portable charger from a 9-volt battery. And that's how you can charge your phone when you have no power during a hurricane. Until next time, Klaus Valen, CBTV.
Hey Cypress Bay, this week on Oscars, we'll be taking a look at the new box office hit, It, directed by Andres Muschietti, as well as the 1986 original cult classic directed by Stephen King. Let's get started. The movie remake was an overall success, reaching number 5 in the box office charts less than a month after its official release. Compared to its predecessor, the new adaptation is a lot rougher. Don't believe me? Check out the movie's opening scene. This opening scene is brutally effective, setting the suspenseful mood for the rest of the movie. And although the movie was quite terrifying, we can't forget the hilarious commentary between characters. Andres Muschietti, director of the new It film, did a phenomenal job living up to the hype. In fact, Stephen King himself stated during an interview, "I wasn't prepared for how good the movie was going to be." That's a pretty big deal coming from the horror king himself. This movie is definitely a successful remake of the 1986 cult classic, and it wins this week's Oscar. That's all for this week's movie review. I'm Oscar. See you next week, Cypress Bay.
The world of Cypress Bay athletics is in full throttle.
Here's Josie to catch us up on all things sports.
The varsity football team continued their winning streak with an impressive showing on September 2nd against Coral Springs High School, and remarkable performances by Ricky Malcolm and Marlon Servin.
Football is back at Cypress Bay as the Lightning took on the Coral Springs Colts at home on September 2nd. The Lightning got on the board first with a 2-yard rollout by quarterback Marlon Servin.
Servin keeps the ball around the right side.
Running back Devin Singer punched in the ensuing 2-point conversion. The Coral Springs offense leaned heavily on screen passes and inside runs throughout the first half, except this time when quarterback DeAndre Johnson launches it over the middle to receiver Cam Bell, who gets drilled by Devin Williams. With star defensive lineman Jake Lichtenstein in college, the Lightning needed players to make their mark, literally like Antoine Offer did on that vicious 8-yard sack. The play of the night, however, went to Cypress Bay star Ricky Malcolm, who fielded a punt from inside his own 15, sprinted towards the sideline, made multiple defenders miss, and he is gone. 89 yards to the house to give the Lightning a 15-0 lead, followed by Francisco Moreno's extra point midway through the second quarter. But Malcolm wasn't done yet, showing off his physical receiving skills as he throws not one, not two, but 3 Colts on the ground as he scores again in style.
In the end zone, touchdown Lightning!
Coral Springs answered back in the next half with this perfectly placed throw to Mark Azama for the Colts' only score of the game.
Touchdown Colts!
As the clock winded down in the fourth quarter, Singer put the nail in the coffin with a 13-yard score to cap the Cypress Bay victory 29-6.
After the long break due to Hurricane Irma, the Lightning looked to continue their winning streak, however, ultimately fell short in their game against Plantation High School.
It's been 3 weeks since the Cypress Bay Lightning last took the field, but on September 22nd, the team hosted the Plantation Colonels in a district rivalry game. Neither team scored in an uneventful first quarter, although with 2 minutes left until the end of the quarter, Cypress Bay superstar Ricky Malcolm laid out for the catch of the night off a 25-yard pass from Marlon Servin. The Lightning finally got on the board in the second quarter when Tremaine Major burst through the line and knocked the ball out of Rashard Branch's hands, though Cypress Bay could not fall on the ball as it rolled out of the end zone for a safety. 2 drives later, Colonels running back Michael Chalet would respond by sprinting down the middle for a 61-yard touchdown run, giving Plantation a 7-2 lead at the half.
Takes it into the end zone, no flags on the field.
On the first drive of the third quarter, Kyle Walters finds a big hole and he is off to the races as Kenneal Stewart brings him down, but Walters still gets the touchdown. However, another look at the play shows that Walters' knee was clearly down inside the 2-yard line, yet the play remained a touchdown. After a Plantation punt, Servin marched Cypress Bay to the 4-yard line before running it in himself.
Servin takes it in!
A sweet snag from Malcolm on the 2-point conversion gave the Lightning a 16-13 lead. That lead was short-lived as 2 drives later, Chalet scored from 3 yards out to give the Colonels a 4-point lead at the beginning of the final quarter. With over 2 minutes left in the game, the Lightning drove down the field and scored on a 1-yard pass to none other than Ricky Malcolm.
Touchdown Lightning!
After the Lightning failed on the 2-point conversion try, it was the Colonels' turn to drive down the field and score from 13 yards out to seal the Plantation victory 34-22.
The Lightning varsity football team lost against Plantation, which could be a result of a 20-day break in between games due to Hurricane Irma. Due to school being canceled, teams at the Bay didn't have the ability to practice and prepare for upcoming games. After the long break, some players were out of shape and had to make a quick turnaround to get back to optimal performance.
Well, our team had practice, and coaches were aware that we had 10 days off of practice, so they had to shorten practice the first day, and then we had conditioning the second day.
The extended break interfered with the players' sports routine, which disrupted team chemistry and mental readiness.
What we did is out of practice, we just started conditioning. We would run laps. Our practices were a little slower than amped up by the end of the week.
Although teams may still be readjusting to practicing and playing every day, the coaches and advisors are helping to restore things back to normal.
Again, I think the student body and administration is doing that, the community as well. Again, we have great support here. We have we have great staff. So again, we were ready to go. Actually, a few days before, we were scheduled to come back, and again, ready to hit the ground running, and we've done that. So we resumed activities immediately, and again, we're back to normalcy.
To make up for lost time, the players and coaches are putting forth all their effort in practices in preparation for future games.
I never got out of shape. We did the whole team. We all worked out during the break. Push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, everything we could.
That's all for this week's sports. I'm Josie Clancy, CBTV Sports.
Continue to update you on an extremely dangerous situation, and that, of course, is Hurricane Andrew.
The winds right now 150 miles per hour around the center.
A major hurricane is threatening South Florida.
Hurricanes can reach wind speeds of up to 200 miles per hour, costing not only billions of dollars in damage, but also lives. There are multiple things you should do to prepare for a hurricane. First, get together an evacuation plan, just in case the scenario comes where you have to leave your residence. Second, purchase emergency supplies such as water, non-perishable food items, and backup power. Third, make sure to make copies of important documents and keep them safe. Don't forget to board up your windows with shutters or wood. Always stay up to date with information on the storm by watching or listening to your local news channels. Most importantly, don't forget to stay safe during hurricane season.
Cypress Bay sports teams weren't the only ones affected by the hurricane.
The week and a half off school had a major setback on homecoming.
And Homero found out just how SGA is adjusting to the time constraint.
After Hurricane Irma's passage over Cypress Bay, everyone's expected to go back to their usual business. But that loss of time from work has not only taken a toll on the teachers, but on the students as well. Few more were affected than SGA in their planning of homecoming and Spirit Week.
We don't have the time we used to have. Therefore, based on what we do have, we are trying to keep up as much as possible. It's usually about a month and a half in which we can spread out throughout the weeks. Certain days that will come, have to move schedules. We've had to make arrangements for us to be here.
With most of their original plans ruined, the SGA advisor, Ms. Nascimento, has been trying to motivate her students to get back on track so they can recover from the lost time.
You know, a little encouragement, and I let them know that they can do it. You know, that this is a minor setback.
Despite being in the face of adversity, SGA still has high hopes that they can make something great of this year's homecoming and Spirit Week.
And I think a lot of times kids are very judgmental. They walk through the hallway and go, oh, I don't like this. But I think this year, let's say it's not to the fullest potential, it's still going to look good because we did put our hearts into this. And I think the kids are going to understand, oh, we had Armageddon.
So, are you in?
didn't lose power during the hurricane, but a lot of my friends did.
Same here. And Gio went around the Cypress Bay campus to see if any students had a similar experience.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Gio, and today I'm going to be asking you guys what you did during Hurricane Irma. What did you do during the events of Hurricane Irma?
I stayed inside my house and just relaxed.
We stayed inside with no power, and we lit a bunch of candles, and we just played card games with the mom.
So was there any damage caused in your neighborhood by the hurricane?
Just like trees falling, nothing like major.
Maybe? No.
Only in our backyard we have 4 trees. Only one of them was like toppled down, but we were able to put it straighten it back. So.
Did you and your family evacuate during Hurricane Irma?
No, we didn't. We did not.
Did your roof fly off?
Of course not.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Did you go outside during the hurricane at all?
Yeah, all my neighbors just like met up in the middle of the street, kind of.
During the hurricane?
Yeah, they're kind of crazy.
Seems like you guys had a stormy week. I'm Gio Vargas, CB TV.
That's all for this episode of Aftershock.
If you want to watch previous episodes, visit us at cypressbaytv.com.
And while you're at it, follow us on Twitter at CypressBayCBTV. I'm Alex Twid.
And I'm Alec Marsh. Thanks for watching.